Welcome to Coffee Time with Tania instead of Stitch Time with Tania because I'm not stitching. So thank you to all my subscribers. So welcome to anybody new. Normally I will be stitching, but today I'm not. I will later on today, but I don't intend to get that much. I have a few things I want to talk about today, so I thought I'd do this as an extra. So something was brought to my attention yesterday, so thank you very much from Elle from the Keystone Stitcher. She told me something I didn't know, and it had quite a big impact on me. So this is Pain Free Crafts Cosmic Wolf by MJP, and I didn't realise that MJP is an AI art, and I have very firm beliefs about AI art. It's my own opinion. Everybody has their opinion of how they feel about AI art, but I will explain how I feel about it, and you can have your own opinion and you can decide going forward how you feel about it. So this piece I'm either going to frog or I'm going to reuse the fabric. So this is a UFO. I will not be continuing this piece because of my own conscience. I can't, and that's on me. So it's an error on my part, because legally there's nothing wrong with AI art, but morally I think there is, and so on my conscience I can't do it. How I feel, and this is my view, nobody else has to agree with how I feel, but how I feel that AI art is collected on the internet from any art on the internet, and then the art is derived from those images. So it's not just taken from images that are open source, it is also taken from images that are copyrighted, so it's illegal to copy those images. So legally it is legal to copy something and to a certain percentage, and therefore it is a new art. So it is quite a grey area. So how do I feel about it? I don't think it's right. I think eventually the laws will change and it won't be, there'll be stricter laws on what images they're allowed to use to make the AI art. Until that changes, I think it's going to be in the grey area. So how I see it, and this is just my view, nobody else has to agree with me, I'm an old fuddy-duddy. I see it as people going around everybody in New Zealand's home and taking all their art, cutting it up, and then making another piece of art. That's how I see it, and that's quite firmly in my mind, and I can't get past it. And every time I see a AI art generated, I just can't get over it. And at the moment it is all fine to be done, but this piece is going to take me a long time to do. Is it still going to be legal in 5, 7 years, 8 years, when it's going to take me that long to finish this piece? am I always going to look at this piece and go, it's stolen art? And then in my conscience is saying, no, it's not all right. So I think you have to look into yourself and say, is it all right going forward? Should we be buying AI art? So Darling Bluebell did a really good video on AI art and how it's generated, because that's her field. And she's the first person, sorry, Coco's using a litter box. She's the first person that made me start to think about it, because I have a background in the art field. That is why I don't like copied art, because it's very hard for any artist to get a name for themselves and to make a living if that's what they predominantly want to do. So that's why I have such strong feelings on it. So that piece, I didn't realise, because it had a name on it, because it had the MJP, and I will put a picture of, it's got under the artist, Elle, the Keystone Stitcher, actually pointed it out to me. She said, did you know? And no, I didn't. And that's, going forward, that's something that I need to look into. Instead of going, oh, I love this art, I actually need to look into the artist. So that's something in the future. I thought I could trust Paint Food Crafts. I knew a few other places that do sell AI art, and I've actually stayed predominantly away from them. So yes, that's my learning curve for this week. So I'll be honest, I'm very disappointed in myself, and I need to get over that, and I need to do better in the future. So I have a few pieces to show you today. Instead of stitching, I have been playing with my 3D printer again. Look, I have even my new project that I bought from Autumn Lane Stitchery, because I absolutely love Erin's patterns. And even Erin is having an issue at the moment from brain dead. AliExpress is stealing his patterns and selling them on their site, and he can't do anything about it, and I think that's really sad. That copyrights mean nothing to China. Right, this is Pumpkin Patch, and it's a bit brighter than that. It's not really showing the true colour. So I had 660 stitches on this, and it's 28 count. I can't stitch on it. I have come to the conclusion that I'm not ever going to be able to stitch on 28 count again. So going forward, what does that mean? It means I can't stitch on my chatelaine. That's a UFO. I'm going to pass it on to Jessica if she wants to complete it for me. Hey, that is pretty much what it's like. If she wants to stitch it, complete it for me, hey, I'd really appreciate that. But if she doesn't want to, totally understand it, and she can just keep the specialty threads and the beads. So that's Pumpkin Patch. I've decided to use this, which is Aztec. And who's it by? Oh, it is, sorry about Coco's litter box. I decided to be less clear on my glasses here. This is by Under the Sea fabrics. And it's only a small piece of fabric. I'm feeling lucky, so it's a lucky dip. But because it's such a small pattern, it's actually going to fit on that. And what count was it, Tanya? It was a 16 count, and it fits perfectly on that. So I'll put the picture tonight we write. And I absolutely love the pattern. So I only started that pattern. I wasn't really intending on doing too much on it. I only started that pattern because I wanted to see if I could stitch on it before that mermaid cell. So look, I did the thread drops as well, and I put the numbers on it. As you can see, because I haven't been stitching, I've been playing with my 3D printer. So I need to get the threads for that. I thought, okay, I need to put that fabric aside now. I've shown you, so I can put it with Jessica's huge box of 28 count. I thought that I would start it because that mermaid cell that starts on the 15th. Sorry, Coco just knocked the tripod. I had a 28 opalescent piece of fabric, and I thought I would try something small, just start it, and if I can stitch on it, that's fine. But I couldn't, so instead I'm going to stitch it on this is Phantom, and it is a, look, I just went past it. It's a 16 count. Absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite fabrics from Picture This Plus. It says PTP on it. And where are the threads? And I think all the threads will stick out really nicely. I'm really happy with that already. So that light one that I had before is going to, Tanya, show it, is going to show out on that really well. So I'm very happy with that. I think I made the right choice. I'll explain why I can't see it. I have permanent double vision now. They have come to the conclusion. I went to the eye specialist on Tuesday and they can't do anything more for me. I have got a prism in my glasses. My glasses are perfect. Unfortunately, oh, you're on that back. Unfortunately, the MS is changing my vision a lot, and I can't do anything about it, and the double vision is here to stay. They put a prism in my glasses and it isn't adequate enough. My mind, my brain, I hope you got a coffee for this. My brain is able to rectify a lot of it, but when I'm stitching, I'm thinking as well, so my brain isn't able to do both effectively. So, for example, when you're using even weave and you have the 9 holes and you're trying to work out which hole you should go in or out, and it's easy to go over 2 threads, and I find it easy, but when instead of seeing the 9 holes, I actually see 18 holes, it makes it very difficult to figure out which of the 18 holes I should actually use. And when you don't have to, there is an option. You either use Ada or you use even weave. Okay, I have a huge stash of even weave. but I don't have to use it. I'm sure Jessica will either hate me or love me as I give this huge stash to her. I'm not sure which it's going to be. But yes, that's what I'm going to do. So Elle and Anna from DM's Crafty Vortex are starting a new sale. They're starting the Magical Quilts sale, and it's a weaver's sale, and there was 3 patterns. They're all free, so you should go check it out. I'll have it linked below. So I decided that I'd start the bird sale, so we're starting on the 4th. The 4th be with you. Oh dear, corny today. So I have decided to use this fabric, which is, what is it called, Tanya? It's by Fabrics by Stephanie, and it's called Northern Lights, and it is a 14 count. What am I going to stitch it with, Tanya? So there's 3 patterns. There's 2 animal ones and there's a bird one. So I decided on the Weaver's bird one. So the birds I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do the small birds on the purple and the big birds on the blue. See? And the border I'm going to do on the blue and purple, or the teal and purple. And it's got a bit of blue in it too. So that's what I'm going to use. So that will be really easy for me to see because it's 14 count Ada. I actually had a look at it last night, and it's actually not as easy to see as I thought. It is easier to see, but it's not as I thought it was going to be ginormous. But it's actually not. And I always put my silks in a mesh bag so they can breathe. So there we go. So I'll have that link below. So I'm starting that with Anna, and I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, and Elle from the Keystone Stitcher. So that's pretty exciting. So I had my eye test. It was horrible. I always have issues when they want to know if I see double, because I see double all the time. It's never changes. And when I don't have my glasses on, and even when I have my glasses on, because they do the same tests with and without. So the line must be on my camera. When I have the eye test to see if I see double vision, I see it all the time, and I struggle to tell if I see it. And what they do is they shine a light, and you're meant to see, the light's meant to cross over. It doesn't for me. I only see one line instead of it crossing over. Yeah, it's quite problematic. And they show you 3-dimensional images, and they're meant to pop out. I don't see that. So it took 3.5 hours at the specialist. Excuse me. And you're thinking, why did it take 3.5 hours? And it's because I was waiting 90% of that. And it's a little bit like a kettle station. You go from one person and then you go back to the waiting room, and then you wait for the next person and you go see them, and then you wait again. So yeah, it's a long time and I hate going there. So I seen the first doctor, and I'm not sure how long I got the joy of seeing her. Probably half an hour. And then I did all the other, they did the images of your eyes and all that, and then at the very end I seen the specialist, and the specialist said, I see the other doctor said you had to come back in 2 months, and I said, do I really need to? I said, nothing has changed since I came in January. And I said, so really, is there any point in me coming back in 2 months' time? And she said, no. And I said, can I not just regularly see my optometrist and just leave it at that? And she said, yes. And I'm going, yippee, because I really hate going there. So that's what we're going to do going forward. If I have any major issues, I go back, but if not, I don't. So thank goodness for that. So I have to have yearly eye examinations, and I will continue to get progressive glasses because that's what I need now. So I went to get my mammogram on Thursday. So I was pretty tired Wednesday after being at the hospital so long on the Tuesday. So I didn't really do any stitching on the Wednesday, and Thursday I had my mammogram. I knew I was going to be sore after my mammogram. The mammogram was fine. Didn't hurt. She was very gentle with me. It is my shoulder. Because I've torn my labrum in my shoulder, it means that it's one of the positions that you have to go in for the side view, that every time I do it, I can hear a tear in that shoulder, and that's the issue with that. So after after I've done that, I'm always really sore afterwards. And that was the case, and I didn't really stitch because I stitched with 2 hands. I did a wee bit, but nothing really. And then of course I stitched that 660 stitches for Tonight We Ride, and then I had to frog it. So that wasn't much fun. So there won't be that much stitching in the next update, but I did expect that. Monday's infusion day, and I'm looking forward to that. Actually, it'll be quite good because my walking is quite bad at the moment. Dave's been helping me to get to bed at night because I can't be trusted. So, look, you can see Dave's plants in the background. That's his cucumber plants. He repotted all his tomato plants. I don't think it helped the stress on, I think it's Friday. One of these days, Dave got kicked in the head with the cuff, so his head bled a lot. So he hasn't washed his hair yet because he's concerned it will start bleeding again. Thank goodness he didn't have any concussion signs or anything like that. But it just does show that you have to be careful all the time on the farm. But so I don't think I have really any funnies this time. I'm sure funny things have happened, but oh, come here. Come here, baby. This little girl, you're a good girl, aren't you? Oh, thank you, darling. This little girl is very good at the moment, aren't you, honey? There you go. And sit there. we found out why she has been so naughty. Good girl. And yeah. We found out why she has been so naughty. Did you not like being picked up? There you go. Dave has been giving her catnip treats. So yeah, she's been a little bit feisty because of them, and that's why she's been waking us up all the time at night. Come here. So I had to laugh over that one. So we have learnt now that Dave needs to take his glasses to the supermarket when he goes grocery shopping and actually read what is inside things. Is that one not as easy to climb up, Coco? She tried to climb up the top of the computer chair. So if I hadn't have, sorry to see my head, if I hadn't have had such a big border for this fabric, I could have just cut it off. But I did put such a big border. So it's a lot of stitches to cut out. But it is a big piece of fabric. So yeah, I think I might slowly just frog them though, to be honest. Yes. So I think it's just something to be aware of in the future, that I thought I was quite safe that if it had an artist's name on it, that it was an artist. But because I knew Mid-Journey was AI, but I didn't expect that MJP was going to be AI. So we live and learn. The people that won the patents, they have been in contact with me, so thank you very much, and I absolutely love the patterns that they picked. Oh, have I bought more patterns? I had this theory that I would only buy patterns that had been that are going to be retired. So I will show you the patterns that are going to be retired. I bought the sweatshop from, I think it's the Steve Crisp design, because I absolutely love that. It's very confetti heavy by the looks. Excuse me. What else did I buy? Oh, I bought one that wasn't retiring from Hate. It is called I will just put the image in because I can't remember. But it has no background and it's a mini. I actually didn't want it as a mini. It's by Cindy Nelson and Watching It Fly. I watched somebody else, 310 Stitcher, I think, and she didn't like because it had grey hair at the end, and I actually did. And I've got some 18 count coloured fabric that I thought would be perfect for that. So I just need to make sure that'll fit. So I will check to see some of the Cosmic Wolf colours that I can use some of them. This, the Watching It Fly is only got 12 or 13 colours. It hasn't got much. I also bought Sunset and Venus. I bought the regular size. I have the mini by Dominic Davidson because I thought, am I going to do the mini? Am I going to do the regular? Which am I going to do? So I put them both in Pet and Keeper, and I decided there's not much in it. I think I could do the mini, I think. I'll have to wait to finish my mini mount cabin home, and if I'm happy with that, I think I'll do the Venus one as a mini. I didn't like the sky in the regular. I think that was my issue. So it was like half a dozen one, half a dozen of another. So isn't that funny? I like the sky in the mini more than I like the sky in the regular. And until I actually seen it in Pet and Keeper, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. And because there was a sale, I thought, I'll have a look. I thought it's only half price. It means really I've bought both of them full price. You know, I bought one for full price, I mean. And yeah, I really couldn't decide on what I was going to do. Because the Venus one I very much want to stitch and to have it on my wall, because I've actually been to Venus and I've actually had been serenaded on the gondola. So yeah, that's what I want to do. So what else did I buy? I think that's it. Apart from that, tonight we ride. So I was saying, no, obviously I can't be trusted. I need to stop buying patterns completely. Because there was some more that Pain Food Crafts were retiring. Thank goodness they weren't ones that I actually had to have. And there's some more that they're bringing in, and I think I just have to be really careful about what I do buy now, because I haven't got the wall space. I really lack a wall space. So what do you think? Do you think I should frog all those stitches, or do you think I should just cut the fabric and hope that I could get a couple of minis out of what's left? What do you think I should do? Because that is quite a few thousand stitches to frog. That would take quite a while. That is precious stitching time that I would be using up. Whereas I could get a few minis out, a couple of minis, maybe 3 minis out of that. That would be probably the best idea. What do you think? So yeah. And I think on the 20 count, to be honest, I think the 20 count, the 2 threads full cross was a wee bit thick. So I think going forward, I'll definitely try the 20 count one thread full cross as well. I will with sexy. Talking about sexy, I've got exciting news. I'm going to start my All Hallows Eve with Holly the Cross Stitch Addict in October, and Mrs. Miggins is one of my subscribers, one of my good friends, is going to start that as well. So that's exciting. That was my 3D printer. So yeah, I'm super excited about that because I have it all kitted up on thread drops. And I'm going to do that on 20 count, and I've got some Ada. Okay, what I'm going to talk about now is so many people asked about quick stitching. I always use a Lowry stand. I always sit with my feet up. I always have cushions underneath my elbows, and I sit in the most comfortable position, and I never reach. I think that's probably the most important. I don't have my threads too long, so you're not pulling too far up and you're not pulling too far back. So what else do I think? I have ball tip needles, and I find, for me personally, because I use the even weave predominantly, I find that really good. I do not find it good on Ada, the 18 count Ada. I actually went to a peacemaker needle. I found it a lot better. I find that I'm slower on Ada than I am on even weave. Who knew? I thought maybe it's just because I'm a wee bit more tired at the moment with trips to Dunedin, etc. But I think it is the Ada, because I've started my Harry Potter. I think personally myself that the even weave is quicker. I think my All Hallows Eve, I'm going to pre-grid my fabric, and I'm not going to do it on 20 count Ada. Oh, I may. Or do you think I should? Maybe I should, and we should compare. Maybe I should, because I've got heaps of 20 count Ada. I should compare with one thread if it's just as quick. I prefer one thread. I think it lays better, it's quicker. Two threads, you're always messing about with having your threads sit. So speed, I think it depends on what you're stitching on, because when you're doing a non-full coverage, sometimes it's just as quick when you're doing 14, 16, 18 count 2 threads, and you're doing just as much counting. I don't know, maybe it depends on the day. But I think the most important things are, don't have your threads too long, be comfortable, have regular butt breaks, because I think that's really important, so you don't get fatigued. I do have regular breaks. I get up, I walk across the room, I go get a coffee, predominantly, or a drink of water, and go to the bathroom, come back, pick up Coco, bring her back, give her a few pats, and then she'll go away. So yeah, I think that's pretty much. I know that the Gecko Rouge, Harry Potter that I'm working on at the moment, that I'm doing a lot of counting, because I started in the middle. Oh boy, was that a good idea? No. Why is it not a good idea, Tanya? My computer just started. Because I finished a block, which was really cool, and then it's like, what block is next to it? I don't know, I get lost easier. So I've actually stitched and gone to the edge. So I'm now working my way back from the edge and working in. And I think they'll make it a lot easier. Excuse me. Because I prefer to work across a piece. I normally work from the bottom up. It'll be interesting to see where we all work on our All Hallows Eve. I think I'm going to start on the bottom left. That's where I think today. We will see when I start. But thank you very much for joining me. I hope I haven't upset anybody with my views on AI art. But like I say, that's how I feel about it. You may feel differently. There's a lot of people out there that are selling AI art, and it's quite legal at the moment. Will it continue to be legal? I don't think so. To be honest, I do not think so. I think the laws will catch up in due time. So that's just my 5 cents worth. We never used to have copyright laws on art at all, I think. It took a long time for that to come. So I'm sure. Because isn't old art, like the masterpieces, they're not copyrighted? So yeah, because anybody can, like, trying to think about pieces that you can use. I know the older pieces, anybody can chart them, so within so many years old. So yeah. Well, I'm sure I've bored you enough. I'm sorry I haven't stitched and to show you any tricks of the trade, because I don't think there is any. I think once you know how to cross stitch, you know how. How I got faster, this is just my way that I got quicker, was I used to only do 500 stitches a day, and that was on a good day. And then I thought, I'm never going to get this finished. Okay, I can do 600 stitches. So I pushed myself to do 600 stitches, and then maybe a couple of months after that, I pushed myself to do 700 stitches. And then after that, it was 750. And then it just creeps up. And now I actually try to get 1,000. And sometimes I just get 1,200 or 1,300 and without even trying. But at the moment, I'm only trying for 500, if that, with not feeling great. And it's always going to be this way, that the week before my infusion, I always have a bit of a crap week. I know the neurologist nurse said that she thought I should have it monthly, but I don't think the funding is there for that, and I'm not sure I could actually do it monthly anyway, because I had so many issues with turning yellow last time after my infusion. So I'm not sure if my liver and kidneys would handle it anyway. So yeah, so I'm always going to have this couple of weeks, the week before my infusion, the week after it, and then everything gets back to normal. So I'm sorry if you're expecting to see big numbers, but you won't. You won't see big numbers from Jess either, because Jess is doing a Hogwarts Lego kit at the moment. She's been showing me pictures. It's been really exciting to see that. What are you doing, Missy? She gets around. Thank goodness she's not waking me up several times a night anymore. And I will let you go. Thank you very much for joining me. Like I say, I hope I haven't upset anybody with my views. It's just my views, and you may have completely different views and it may not bother you at all. But there's heaps of floss tubers out there if you don't wish to continue watching me, and I understand that. And have a wonderful day, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Thank you. Bye.